Thank you, George. Thank you for that phone call. We're going to move things to the phone lines. Folks, we have open lines here, 844-580-9326. That's 844-580-9326. Let's go to Tim in Altamonte Springs. Tim, you're on with the Magic Mechanic.
Hey, I have a 2015 F-150 V6 non-turbo. I'm wondering when I need to, with 72,000 miles, I'm wondering when do I need to have the Serpentine belt changed and also the belt or chain for the valve train.
Okay. What engine do you have, Tim? Do you know what engine you have off the top of your head?
I think it's a 3.6. It's a non-turbo.
Okay. They had a 3.5, which was a turbo, and then they had a 3.7. You probably have a 3.7 if it's a non-turbo. I'm going to tell you like this. This is what we see in the industry and in the field. Guys that hang around a dealership a lot of them don't really know what an independent shop sees at 100,000 mile or 150,000 mile. They don't see the same things that an independent shop sees because, as a vehicle ages and it gets out of warranty, most people don't bring them back to the dealer for regular service. It's just, it's more inexpensive, and usually you get more experienced guys at the independents because they make more money with independents. So, we see a lot of 3.5 motors, and the 3.7s, there wasn't as many of those out there. In your case, all I can really do is compare it to the 3.5s that we deal with. Now, which are pretty much a very close similarity to each other. With the 3.5 motors, what I typically see is folks will come in usually to around 138, 145,000, and the complaint that they'll have is when they start it up cold, they will actually, on occasion, they will hear a little bit of a rattling type of noise. And then it goes away, and then they may not hear it again for, a month or two. And what that is, you've got tensioners that keep those timing chains tight inside that engine. And what happens is as that chain wears and stretches, they don't normally break. But what happens is those tensioners are ratchet type tensioners. And what they do is they keep coming out until they can't come out no more. And the chain, of course, will still wear and deteriorate as time and usage goes on. And then it'll get to a point when that tensioner can no longer keep that chain as tight as it's supposed to. You will start hearing these rattle type of noises when you first start the engine up cold. Now, with 78,000 mile on this thing or in the 70,000 mile range, I don't think you've really got a whole lot to worry about, for quite a while, because of the simple fact, I don't really see a problem with those particular timing chains until you get up to the high 130s into the mid 140s. So I think you got some time with that. Now, as far as the Serpentine belt goes, on the front of the engine, at the mileage that you're at right now, 70, 80,000 mileage, I wouldn't be a bit opposed to going ahead and putting a new a new Serpentine belt on it. Now, the reason is, see, that belt can still look pretty good, but it can be stretched, and that tensioner can be just about as far out as it can go. So we're not looking for a belt that's all dry rotted and cracked and falling apart. We're looking for a belt that has, an excessive amount of stretch in it over usage. And in your case, that's what I would be concerned with. And then when it gets time for you do it now at around the 70 to 80,000 mile range, and we already know, chances are, when you get up to around 140 with this thing, you're probably going to spend a little bit of money having the timing chain and everything else done on it, and at that time, it'll get another Serpentine belt as well, and probably water pump and whatever else it'll need in the front of that engine whenever it comes apart. So, but right now, I go ahead and hang a Serpentine belt on it. Make sure that, this is a good time to think about transmission service. If that's not been done, cooling system service due to the age and the mileage that you have on the vehicle. Those are things I'd highly recommend. And one of the things that you don't want to forget about, and everybody seems to overlook, is a brake system flush. Folks, this is not a gimmick, and the dealers aren't pulling your leg when they tell you you need your brake fluid replaced. Brake fluid absorbs moisture right straight out of the air. And when it does, any moisture that gets into that brake system, and your brake system is vented, it has to be. If moisture gets in there, that moisture goes all the way to the bottom, as low as it can go. And that means your calipers, your ABS module, and wheel cylinders if it's an older vehicle. So having that stuff actually flushed out and new brake fluid put in is extremely important on these newer cars. Some of these anti-lock brake modules can run $4,000 and $5,000, all because somebody did not flush the brake system. Trust me, it's cheap maintenance, and those are things I would have you consider at this particular mileage. Tim, thank you so much for your call. Sounds like you're doing a good job there. Hi folks, Larry Perry here. For automotive information, maybe you got automotive questions on cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Maybe you're thinking about purchasing a used vehicle, and maybe you just want my opinion. Tune in to the Magic Mechanic radio show every Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. on WDBO.com. Also tune in to our Magic Mechanic YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll all get together, maybe fix a few cars while we're at it.